Okay, finally. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna be honest with you guys, okay? And I want to clarify some things. I'm not the perfect trader. I will never portray myself to be that. Um, it took me a while to kind of figure out my methodology and to redefine it into how I want to see it. And one of the things that I struggled with was market structure. Market structure was always a big factor in in me identifying certain things. Okay. So um today, right, we're gonna go to dive in what happened today. Should only take about 20-30 minutes. Okay. But I want you guys to understand these five things that we look at. And they're very important. The most important ones I want you to really focus on, which I'm going to help you identify market structure and range as we go through these analysis. Right? I will try to break down. I don't like drawing because I see it manually, like I can actually eye it. But I think it's best if I think one of the lessons I have to do is really break down for myself and then for you guys. So, which is why I'm not here to teach you, right? I'm just here for educational purpose. Right? This is how I view the market, and this is how I see the market. Okay, right? Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just how I portray. Okay. Um, but in all honesty, the market structure and the range has been working for me. Right. Not all winning trades are going to be winning trades. Not all losing trades are going to be losing trades. Okay. Once you figure out methodology and you figure out what percentage you're in, okay, then that's where you go in there. Then that's when you start thinking about, all right, how can I protect my capital? Because you're doing the same thing every single time, and the market is not based off of that. It's off of random events. Anything can happen in the market, but we go off of patterns. We go off of how the market reacts, and we go off of price action. We trade price action. That's what we do. Okay. That being said, let's get to it. Right. I did go over it on my last channel, but um I kind of want to go over it today. I mean this one, right, over again. Right. 3 o'clock. So today we're talking about how price broke structure, right? Let's go top to bottom. We were talking about price going lower low, breaking structure right here. Okay. Right. So we know that overall we are what, bullish. Okay. And then what we were discussing earlier today, after that break of structure, we identified the 1 hour, which was the low and this high, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high. Broke structure here started to come up, right? Which were within this area. Were previously pushed down. Okay. We were talking about that price came in here and broke structure right there. Price came right here, structure right here, just like so. Now, why do you say, people might be saying, why do you consider this a break of structure, right? Versus this and this was a break of structure. Now, there's two ways. There's two. We have our mass structure, our overall structure, and then you have your internal structure. And this is what I was getting confused about because I'm like, somebody was teaching me is like, okay, you would go higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. I was just like, but in the other videos, you were talking about high, low, high, and it just didn't make any sense to me. So today, we're talking about structure. This is our highest point. This is our lowest point. It did break structure, right? Prior, right? This was a high. This was our lowest point currently. And then price closed below here, breaking that structure. What did it do? Well, there was some type of accumulation here, right? What it caused it? You can see higher high, higher low, higher high. The hour was still accumulating at the current moment. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. See these little increments? Those are what we call internal structure. So this is what we were looking at previously on the DXY. And what did it do, right? We identified what is the things that we identify? What we identify the range, right? Well, we know what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start marking these out, circles. All right, so range for the 1 hour. So you have our 1 hour range. Oops. Boom. Okay. So now we identify our 1 hour range. Okay. Next thing we do again, market structure and range. Market structure, range, IPA, point of interest, right? Based off where we at, we have this point of interest, but I'm not going to mark it. Okay. This is our point of interest right here, IPA, all that good stuff. If you want me to mark it out, I'll mark it out, right? Boom. There you go. Woo. You have your IPA. And then you have your internal break structure, right? What is it? Well, you have your 15. So now you identify your 15-minute range. Your market structure, 15-minute range. Okay. So at this time, market was bearish, higher high, higher low, higher high. It broke structure, right? You identify what your point of interest, imbalance, right? All that good stuff. Okay. Boom. 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 Okay. Then what we were looking for is price breaking structure in here. Okay. We wanted price to break structure here, but price was continuing to accumulate. As you can clearly see, it was accumulating higher and high. Right at this time, this was our high. Well, yeah, this was our high. This was our low. And you can clearly see price kept going higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. It did break structure. So now what you should have done, right, is change. You adapt with the market. We adapt with the market. This is what we do, right? Despite where it's going, despite structure, we adapt with its direction. So erasing all this, boom, boom. Now what do we have? Well, price did just break structure. I'm trying to move this. Why can't this move? Okay. We did break structure. Now price went this way, break a structure to the upside. What did it do? Sweep liquidity. Right here. You got your liquidity sweep, right? You got your IPA, imbalance, last push down. Okay, all that good stuff. So what price do? What did we wait for? We wait for a price to come back into our area for accumulation. So now price is still accumulating. Price comes back down. Boom, right? We're in lower lows, lower highs. Break. What do you have? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, break. Okay. So out of this breaker structure, this will be your area of interest, going for a long, right? Boom. And there, that's where you switch directions and from there. But I'm not sure if this is going to play out or not, but let's see. And price just blasts it up. Okay. So clearly stating and clearly seeing what happened today. Price went up. This was the play right here, what we waited for, right? So overall, price kept coming up here. You can clearly see right here, right? Oh, okay, we don't want this. Price kept coming up. You got the high point, low point. We've been stuck on DXY for a long time, huh? I'm giving y'all a lesson of how I see the market, right? High point, low point. You had this imbalance in here. What could you have been looking for? Well, you could have been looking for some type of accumulation out of there, which I'm pretty sure if you could look at down the 1 minute, it gave exactly that: lower low, lower high, lower low, break, and then accumulated from there. You can see it right here. This is the breaker structure, and then it gave it to you again. It gave you another opportunity to enter right there, and then it just took off from there, which that probably would have been a what? Imagine you took this trade, put it below this low, and target the high. That would have been 1 at 8. If you kept that going, that would have been 1 at 12, and so on and so forth until you seen the structure and change direction, which it did. Okay, so that was the market plays today. It gave you like 3 opportunities right there. So that was 3 plays for DXY. Same thing from here, right? I'm not gonna, right? It's like the correlation of what happened, what we see, right? So what's special about this one is price broke structure right here, right? You can clearly see lower low, lower high, lower low, break higher high, higher low, higher high, and it broke structure. So what happened right here was you see the 15-minute break. So our overall direction today was that we wanted to see price come to here and distribute out here and continue on to a new low. Okay. We wanted to see to come to this IPA and even possibly this IPA. Okay. And price did exactly that, right? You have this area that we wanted to play in, but price decided to distribute. What do you have? All right. If you take a look at this 1 minute, have higher high, higher low, higher high, broke structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, break, high, low, high, low, high, and a broke structure right here. Break structure, break a structure, boom, and then enter right there. And then that was one of the plays, right? Of course, there was multiple other plays. If you take a look at this 5 minute here, it gave another opportunity coming back in there. And then if you take a look at the 1 minute right here, right, it went higher high, higher low, higher high. It broke structure right here, higher high, right, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Broke structure, came back into here. Then play this for another low play, okay? And it came back here and it gave you another play right here as well. Beautiful plays. I do really want to show you what happened here before market close, which was really clean to me. Okay, so before the market close, you had some lower low, lower high, lower low, a nice accumulation play, which I marked out. And then price came back down in the trend, right? It went higher high, higher low, higher high, and it came back down exactly in our area, right? Where we're interested in. So it came back down, creating lower low, lower high, lower low. It broke structure right there. Boom, coming back into there. And then what do you have? A beautiful, beautiful accumulation. Price went up, went to the IPA. And if you honestly, if you took that, you would have made a 1 to 9 before the market closed. Honestly, I'm not gonna be honest with you guys. I am fully not in the mood for a whole breakdown of everything in the market. I'm gonna take a break until tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna go over Nasdaq. That's the last one I'll be going over. Kind of tired. I don't even feel like breaking down it, if you want me to be honest. So 1 sec. I want to make sure. Okay, so yeah, that was a play. I'm not gonna go over what I see. I'm not gonna lie. I want to get over this, right? So Nas, one last thing. We talked about this area. Okay. So overall price, 4 hour range. Okay. We got that. We had our 1 hour range because it broke structure below that low, right? Because at this moment, this was our 1 hour range. So what do? We look at this in our counter trend stage. So price did break here and went higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. It did break structure right there. Came back up, right? Nice 1 to 4 right there. I did play this. This was a nice sell off. And then price decided to come back up and come a little bit higher than that. Okay. And I want you guys to really, really see what I see because I haven't looked at this, by the way. I'm just assuming. Look at this. Higher high, higher low, higher high. It broke structure right there. Beautiful play. Beautiful, beautiful play. And then what? Imagine if you play this. Boom. Open of the market. And then boom, it just blasted off. Because why? Overall direction. Sheesh. I wish I played it. That was clean. I'm not gonna lie. That was clean as hell. So yeah. Honestly, that's the overall trade. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I literally the only thing last thing I want to say is this. Okay. This bad boy here. You know, it's funny. I know people. I can't be the one to talk. I'm gonna just say this. This is what the system I follow. Market structure, range. Every single time frame, we gotta do that. Those are the most important ones. And then we have to break down everything because I miss a little nice sell off of Euro. I miss a buy off of GJ because I was impatient. I didn't break it down. I didn't go like, okay, well, price breaks above this. Okay, we wait for a counter trend. What counter trend do we have? Well, you could have broke it down into the 1 minute. Okay, what do we got? Okay. What do we have? We have a range 1, 2, 3. That's our range right now. Okay, 1, and it broke structure, but the price came back down. So you probably would have got clapped. Well, if you waited for a nice little accumulation, then maybe not. It's all about patience, all about understanding and breaking down and analysis, market analysis, right? To become top tier. Look at the market how you want to view it, and just really pay attention to all the plays. See this year I try to play this. All right, but this made no sense to play. I'm gonna tell you why, right? I think this was a good play, a good try. But here you can clearly see market structure, low high. That was our range. You can even see on a 5-minute as well. Higher high, higher low, higher high, broke structure. That was your time to short your position. Put your stop loss above the high right there. And what do you know? 1 to 10. So it's all about patience, understanding, to be patient, right? Really break it down. No rush, right? If you miss a trade, there's always another trade the next day, right? Especially the way we trade, okay? There's always opportunities every single day in the markets, and the markets will never leave you. Be patient, the money will come, okay? Follow this model if you want to, or if you want to, right? Review this video. Look how I'm looking at these markets. I'm telling you. Look how I'm looking at these markets. You're probably never ever going to find a video like this on YouTube, because most of these people just post about the same shit over and over again. You will never, ever, ever find anything like this on YouTube. I looked. It's not there. Okay, especially the way we trade. People trade the highs and lows, literally the points. They trade this. We trade a little bit different. Okay, we trade price action, and I just gotta overcome myself. I'm not rich. I'm not profitable. We gotta put it into effect at this point, and we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple months. But I'm gonna be patient, man. I'm gonna re-lock in. Now it's all about protecting my account. I have a type of structure of my methodology, so now it's really time to lock in and really put it into effect. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I don't think nobody's on live here. If anybody was live here, y'all got any questions? Some questions? Okay. Bye. I'll see y'all next time.